All right, guys, it's time for day number 2 of the way too early AFC divisional predictions for what I think is going to happen in the 2021 NFL season. And I do want to bring something up before we get started. I know I said the 17th yesterday. For some reason, I said the 17th, probably because I was planning all these videos out and I was thinking about this video yesterday. So it was the 16th yesterday. That I just wanted to clear that up. Now it's the 17th, and we get to do this with the AFC North. The AFC North are the team the division that we are going to be taking a look at today. Obviously, it's the Steelers, the Browns, the Bengals, and the Ravens are your 4 teams in the AFC North. Last season standings: the Steelers won the division at 12-4. Then you have the Baltimore Ravens at 11-5 and the Browns at 11-5, both wild card teams. Then the Bengals are far behind at 4-11-1. So, taking a look at the standings from last season, I'm going to say the Browns win the division. I'm going to start differently than I did in the last episode. I'm going to say that the Browns are number 1 in the division, and their record, they have 13 wins, 14 wins. Yeah. They'll give them 14 wins on the season. 14 wins, so that's 14-3, I would think, because 17 games. Yeah, 14-3 for the Cleveland Browns. They're the number 1 seed. Number 2 is going to be the Baltimore Ravens. They finish with probably 12 wins, 11 wins, 12 wins, because it's going to be a pretty close matchup between the Browns and the Ravens. So the Ravens get 12 wins, Browns have 14 wins. Then the Steelers are in 3rd place in the division. They probably finished with 9 wins, 10 wins. They're above 500. Well, they can't be 500, but they're pretty solid with about 9-10 wins. And then the Bengals, I think, get 6 wins. I think the Bengals they finish in 4th, obviously. I think they get 6 wins on the season. Joe Burrow's healthy, his knee's good, Jamar Chase is good, and I think they end up sneaking out 6 wins on the season. So those are my 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, it's the Browns, the Ravens, the Steelers, and the Bengals. Now, going into more detail about it, the reason I think the Browns are going to win the division with 14 wins is because if you take a look at this roster, they added Jadeveon Clowney. They've still got Myles Garrett. Baker Mayfield's looking to take another leap and be even better quarterback. They've got one of the best running backs in the league in Nick Chubb. They've got great wide receivers in Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. They've got amazing corners. They've got good linebackers. This team is built. I hate to say it because I love to see the Browns fans suffer, but the Browns are good. The Browns have a solid team, and I think they can win the division this year. Then moving on to the Ravens, obviously they've got Lamar Jackson. They did trade away their offensive tackle, Orlando Brown, which kind of hurts them. I don't really know why they did it. I know, well, they got another draft pick, but I don't know. I think the Ravens are still good enough with J.K. Dobbins and Lamar Jackson and Hollywood Brown. I think they're good enough to get the 2nd place in the division because I don't think the Steelers and the Bengals are that great. So I think they'll be able to win enough games to be the 2nd seed with Lamar Jackson because I think Lamar's going to have another good season. Maybe not MVP caliber like he had a couple of years ago, but I think he'll have another pretty solid top 5 quarterback season. Then the Steelers. Last season, the Steelers, all the questions and concerns were about how Big Ben was going to play. He's getting older. Is he going to retire after the season? They had no running game, and their offensive line was pretty bad. And I don't think they've improved their offensive line that much. I think they've even lost guys. I mean, I know that Pouncey retired, so I think their offensive line is going to be even worse than it was last season. Plus, they added Najee Harris, and yeah, Najee Harris is a really good running back coming out of college at Alabama, but he's got no offensive line to run behind. So how good is he going to be? If he's got no offensive line, I don't know. I don't think that the Steelers are going to be that great. They might even finish last. I might even bump them down to last when it comes to like August or September when I do my official predictions. I don't know. I'll have a couple months to think about it and look at training camp and see how Najee Harris plays, see how the Steelers are looking in camp and stuff. But I don't know. I'm worried about the Steelers. I don't think they're going to be that great this season. And then we got the Bengals. I already talked about how Joe Burrow, hopefully his knee's healthy. He says that he's going to be ready for week 1. I don't know if that's really achievable. I mean, the way that the medicine is now and the treatment and the rehab and stuff, I could definitely see it happening, but I don't know. It was a pretty nasty knee injury. And if you look at those, when they released their new jerseys, they had a picture of Joe Burrow wearing one of the jerseys, and his knee was exposed. You could see the scar. It was a giant scar on his knee. It was nasty. And I don't know. Hopefully he's going to be able to recover from that. The question is still how their offense line is going to be able to protect him, because obviously that's the reason why he had the knee injury, is because his offensive line is hot garbage and couldn't protect him. They added Jackson Carman in the draft, who probably is going to start day 1 and be maybe play a little bit of guard or tackle. I don't know. I think they could be a little bit better than last season. I don't know the offense line, though. That's going to be pretty scary. It's basically the Steelers and the Bengals fighting for the 4th spot. And the 3rd spot, they're going to be going back and forth in my head because they both have really bad offensive lines. They did draft Jamar Chase with the 5th, 6th? What did they draft? I don't know. I can't remember. I don't even remember when Jamar Chase was drafted. He was top 10. I do know that. And Jamar Chase along with Tyler Boyd and Higgins. So that's a very dangerous wide receiver core. Tyler Boyd's a good wide receiver. T. Higgins is very speedy, good wide receiver, and then obviously Jamar Chase is considered to be the best wide receiver in the class this season. So having those weapons, plus I think C.J. Azuma is back as tight end, so he's not the greatest tight end, but it gives Joe another option. And I think Joe, if he stays healthy, is going to have a continuation of the season that he was taken away from him last season, because he only played like 10 games last year before that knee injury. So, and he was the presumptuous rookie of the year that last season until that knee injury. So I think he's going to continue on, pick up where he left off from there, and continue to be great as a young quarterback in this league. And that gets the Bengals 6 wins, better than what they did last year with 4 wins. I only give them 6 wins because of their offense line. Plus, their defense is not the greatest. Their linebackers are pretty shoddy. Their defensive linemen, they don't really have a pass rusher. Their corners they lost William Jackson. He's not there anymore. Their defense is probably going to lose them some games, but Joe Burrow in this offense should be able to keep them in games, or at least give them a chance in a few games because of this such a dynamic wide receiver core he's got now. The only thing is, once again, their offensive line, I don't know if it's going to be able to hold up through 17 games to keep Joe Burrow healthy. I really hope it does, because I'd love to see Joe Burrow succeed and do well in this league. It's just I'm worried that his offensive line is not going to be able to do much. Same with the Steelers, because Big Ben, the questions were last season, is he going to retire? He's coming back for another season. If it doesn't go well, will he retire after this season? I don't know. It's all up in the air with the AFC North. I do know that I'm pretty confident that the Browns will be able to win the division, because they're just, out of all 4 of these teams, they are the most complete. They're the most built team. They got good quarterback. Well, we think a good quarterback. He's got to prove it this year. They've got one of the best running backs in the league, good wide receivers, good line. They've got good defensive line, good corners, good linebacker. Yeah, they got a complete team. And if Baker can prove that he is going to be good, he's going to be a good quarterback, then the sky is the limit for them. And I hate saying that. I love seeing the Browns fail, and I love seeing the Browns fans suffer. It's just fun, but I don't know if we're going to be seeing that much anymore if Baker has another good season like he did at the end of last season. And some may argue that one bad referee call denied them an AFC championship berth. You could argue that, and that's a pretty good argument. It's a pretty strong argument. So Cleveland number 1 to recap, then the Ravens, then the Steelers, then the Browns. But like I said, the Steelers and the Bengals not the Browns. The Steelers and the Bengals could change and interlock. It's pretty close. I know I gave the Steelers like 9-10 wins and the Bengals 6 wins, but I could easily see the Steelers not getting to that 9-10 win range. I could see them falling to the more like 6, 7, 8 range, because that offensive line, solely based on the offensive line. That offensive line is just not good. It's about on par with with the Bengals offensive line. It's just not good. And I feel like not a lot of people talk about how bad the Steelers offensive line is. It's just not that great this year. So Big Ben's going to be in trouble. He's probably going to be throwing the ball a lot like he did last season, which means Najee Harris isn't probably going to get as many touches as he probably would. And when he does get the touches, he's probably not going to get as many yards as he probably could because that offensive line is so bad. So Browns number 1. Then the Ravens, then the Steelers, then the Bengals. Those are my way too early AFC North predictions. Let me know down below in the comments what you guys think. If you think that I should, if one of the teams should be changed around, if you think the Ravens are going to take the division, or if you agree with me that the Browns are going to take the division, then let me know down below in the comments. Hit that like button, hit the notification bell, hit the subscription button as well. Join the Juice Club. We're on the road to 400 subscribers. Help me get there by smashing that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.